So here we go, starting the video on like my metagame challenge. I'm at 5 wins right now, and I'm just gonna basically go from here. Playing against mono red. Mono red's always like, one of those matchups where you gotta basically try to like control the board and draw cards to be able to just like maximize your synergy and card advantage. The basic strat is just kill their creatures on the board, try to get card advantage, and then burn them in the face. Not much else to do. I mean, right now I have 2 chain wheelers. It's really good. 1 drops, I'm going to lose my frenzy, which is horrible, but it'll be alright. So you want to try to get like all the poke damage you can in, because they can't gain life. So like every damage you get on them is insane. So like he plays a chain wheeler here, we're like, okay, it doesn't matter. Fix that a little bit so you can see his hand. She pretty much has no hand. He's just going on the top decks. Which, like, in this situation, maybe he does have a hand. Oh, there we go. The fact that he played that without anything to play is pretty bad. Just gives me more and more advantage. As time goes by, he's not killing any of my creatures, so like I'm just poking at him. Poke, poke. Game with a chain wheeler, like we don't care, we just kill it. Even if we didn't draw that, we would have had skewer. And then like he's pretty much dead from here, because like it doesn't matter what he does, he's dead. That's the thing about mono red versus mono red. You want to try to like minimize the amount of damage you take from them, because like you can't get any more life back. And once you get them down into like range, you just kill them. I don't mess around, I just go right for the throat. You see the sideboard? Usually in this matchup, sideboard, like, you might want to think of lava coils, but not all the time. I usually just take out skewers, bring in either risk factor and Phoenix. Depends if I'm in the mood for a risk factor or not. Phoenixes usually come in. This version right now that I'm currently playing is not full. I eventually go to 3 Chandras. Now I'm just thinking like what to take out. I'm like, I don't know. I end up just taking usually taking out like a Vichy and a Pyromancer or a Wizard Lightning. I was thinking Runaway Steamskin, is it really needed? Don't know. I end up putting in the risk factors, taking out Wizard Lightnings, because they just seem like better in some situations. Like you want to be able to risk factor as much as possible. Hand's pretty bad. I wouldn't keep it. His hand's a lot better. See, the Daredevils came in too. They're always like decent in the matchup because like it gives you card advantage with the Daredevils. What they do is they basically you play them, you take one of their burn spells out of their graveyard and hit their creatures with it, and then you still have a creature they have to deal with, which is insane. And in some instances, it could be even great. Because like say like you could take out a risk factor, so they can't use it, or you could just take out like an extra spell to make their lava runners not active. So can do a lot of things. Here I don't want to take any risk. I probably like on hindsight when I'm looking at the match, I probably would have just swung into this because like I would just play Lavamancer and then say go, but I was probably thinking like, what if he had Chain Wheeler? Match is pretty like even. I got more cards in my hand though, so pretty good. This thing is like, what do you do? It's like, to me, just looking at it without really knowing what I did, I would think I would just shock and then skewer his guy. That's pretty much, I think, what I do. Oh yeah, let up stage. High risk, high reward. Try to get his stuff active. Get some poke on me. Oh, Drew Chandra, which is amazing against this matchup. Gonna see how you always want to keep the board clear, and you just poke them, just constantly poking them. I've got two Daredevils in my hand, so now I can use his burn against him. He played Frenzy, which kind of sucks. Frenzy's always good against this matchup. I don't bring him in because like I just think that like Chandra's is better in the matchup. See, I get to skewer him for free. It's all about card advantage, and he's still got a 2/1 creature to deal with. This is the only problem with Frenzy is like you can't play stuff from your hand, so you don't really know like what you're gonna do in relation to like what you draw. Go on the beach. When I look back at that, I should have probably just Daredevil and used his shock to kill it, and then swung in, because then I'd have shock and Wizard Blade in my hand. He'd be at basically 1. And just draw it for the game. Gives me my 6th win. Going on to the next match. Ooh, too far. Since you already got the peak, it's against control. As for control, be more precise. It's always good, like when you have a hand of couple land and a 1-drop and a 2-drop. It's always really good. In the unknown, common chain wheeler is always good because like against aggro matchups is really good. Fix my audio. I don't know how bad my audio is right now. I mean, you guys can just turn it down, turn it up. So I actually get it perfect. Didn't draw a land. Kind of like sucks. I feel like he's playing Demir right now because like it kind of looks like Demir, but he's kind of land screwed. Here I kind of hesitated just because like I was like, did I want to play my shock or something? I was like, yeah, I did. Against like the control matchup when they're tapped out, you kind of want to get your burn on in their face because like they don't have creatures, so like you don't have to really worry about it. The fact that he didn't wrath means he doesn't have like board clear in his hands, so you just want to keep plopping creatures out. He can always draw it, which would kind of suck, but you know. This card's always super annoying. He chose very poorly right there, because it doesn't matter. I just kill him. He was aspirated. Like, he should have just, like, either killed the... Well, he couldn't kill the Runekin, but he should have just, like, gained 2 life. Because, like, that would have been better than killing my 1-1. He would have lived an extra turn. I don't know what would have happened. Against the, as for control, like, the one thing that about sideboarding, I had extra treason in here because I was trying it out, see if it would work against, Gruul or Mono Green. I eventually take it out because it doesn't really help. Doesn't really do much. As you can see, I brought in 3 Experimental Frenzies, 2 Tivolts, and 2 Daredevils. I know now to always bring in Risk Factor as well, so I bring all those cards in. Take out 4 Chain Wheelers, and you like gotta think of like, what else do you take out? Well, I take out 2 Skewers. That's another main fact. But basically, the 6 cards you always want to take out against control matchups is Chain Wheeler and Skewers. If you want to know why, it's basically because like Chain Wheeler is not going to do anything at all against control. It's just a big fat creature that doesn't do much, like 1 damage. Skewers are not instants, so like usually you want to like hit them with an instant, not a sorcery, and it's just like they'll have chances to duress, thought erasure, or even like counterspell it because it's just a sorcery. While you can get the instants in like whenever you want, and you can also like keep in your hand and let them go. If they tap out, hit them. Daredevil is always good. One thing I loved about doing it, when I first thought about bringing it in, is you bring it in to take their thought erasure to hit them with it. It's always good. Or you can even like take a wrath, 2 wrath their board if they put out a big like weird creature. I remember the one game. I don't know. I don't think it's in the Metagame Challenge, but I was sitting against control. They just gods, to gain 4 life, a master 4 guy. Didn't swing. Then next turn, placed a 5/5 Angel First Strike Vigilance Lifelink guy out, and I was like, crap. Went to my turn, drew Direfleet Daredevil, played it. I had like a ton of mana. It was late game. Took his Catarthur's Wrath and Wrathed, so like crushed him. And that's just like this kind of situations you can get in with having access to that card. It's just really good. Right now I'm probably just thinking whether or not I want to bring a Risk Factor as well. I decided not to. It's always like a whim, like whether I'm going to do it or not. This hand is so suspect. It's like, if I was going first, I would keep it against Esper. Just because like I'll get my lid of the stage in up no matter what. But I feel like I mulligan this hand. And this hand is like even more terrible. It's like, ugh. Then you go into no lands, and it's just like this. Don't really have to show you, it's pretty much a loss. As you can see, like, you know, I'm on 4 lands. He's at 11. Okay. Now just going on to the third game. This time I go first. I decided to keep a very risky hand, which is kind of risky for the 7th win. But I feel like I was ahead on, like, you know, winning already, so, like, I was running kind of hot, so I was hoping maybe I'd draw a land. I did not, unfortunately. I know it's looking bad, looking like one of my usual games. If anyone watches my stream, I know if the man Pitman watching this video, he's probably like, this is the usual thing I see from all the time. But even with the 1 land, I got him down to 9, so like, it's doing really well. Then he rests, and it's just like, wah wah. Then there's a ray of hope of life. I draw a land finally. Start actually doing stuff. At this point in time in the game, my one friend is watching me. He's on me with Discord, and we're just like talking about the match. He's not too liking my odds. I'm not liking it either. He basically went in and out of the game because he just didn't really want to sit there and watch it anymore. And the god came up, and that was just rough. I don't know if he took out counter spells against me or not. I didn't really see very many in this game. It's not looking too good. I mean, the only real hope I have is I have Frenzy. I'm like poking at it because I'm like, draw land, draw land. Nope. Just killing off his guy. Oh, the Thought Rager, which he didn't play, which was really lucky for me because I played Experiment with Frenzy and it didn't get counterspelled, and I was like, oh my god, like, did I just get like back into this game? And he just like mortified. I was like, oh, wah, wah. He must have tapped wrong. That's why he didn't play his one guy. I have another like kind of ray of hope, Chandra. If anyone's watching this video, which I hope they are, if they are watching this video. Like, what do you think like my odds are winning this game? I didn't have very good hope. My one friend was like basically watching some kind of show in the background. I could hear it, and I'm just sitting here like going through the motions. Drew the absorb, but couldn't counterspell anything. I'm like, yay, lands. Or lands. Perfect. I think he absorbs this. Not sure. Yep. I don't know if it was the right play to do that. I think he should have just like drew a card untapped and then played. I also think that if he was gonna sit there and return it to my hand or return it to my library, I should say, she just kept the counterspell in his hand because he didn't have a counterspell for this. I mean, he tapped out, but still, I don't think he had a counterspell in his hand. I have no idea why he even did that. Like, I feel like he should just keep like gaining a life, but that's what he chose to do. He knew I was drawing Chandra anyways. See, I don't think he has any counter spells left in his deck or in his hand. Again, he has the Mortify. To me, I'm just like, maybe I should just play the Pyromancer instead, but still digging. I don't know what's going through my opponent's mind right now. I'm just like, can I ever get Chandra off? That'd be awesome. He's not really protecting his things very much. I don't know if he has counter spells in his hand. He's got a lot of cards in his hand. I don't know what they are. Maybe they're all lands. I mean, it's not looking too good. He's worried about his life total for some reason, but I guess you just kill the creature to kill the creature. At this point, like right now, when I'm looking through his graveyard, my friend made an interesting comment because I was just playing it through, and he's like, it doesn't look good for you. I was like, no, it doesn't. And he was like, how many of these things did you use? How many of these did you use? I was like, two the one guy and then one of the gods. He's like, I don't think he's got a win condition in his deck anymore. I was like, you think? I was like, I think they usually beat you by having that god or having that one planeswalker that deals damage. I was like, interesting. He doesn't have a win condition in his deck. And didn't know if that was for sure, but he was almost out of Teferis as well. So I decided to play it out and see if he had a win condition. Because he was drawing a lot of cards. And I thought for sure this game was a loss, and I'm just like, can I do it? Can I do it? $16 cards left in his deck. He drew Teferi. Thought Razor me again for another mountain. I love like just keeping a random mountain in my hand because like against Esper, they're always like, let's do it. And you're just like, mountain. And you're just like, mountain. See, I don't know when my opponent thinks or realizes that, you know, he might have to deck me to win. Another thought Outrager, his third one, I got a mountain. Well, I think he realizes it too late. My thing is like getting Chandra up to 7 is just really good. Here I just got hit Fairy just in case he wanted to try to return my Chandra and kill it. I know he has Absorb, just getting through it. At this point, if you notice, he put its Fairy back in his deck. He just realized he has to deck me. So he's probably like panicking right now, like what is gonna happen? But like the thing to me is like I don't understand why he's still doing that. Like why would he draw himself extra cards when he's trying to deck me? His last and final Thought Eraser. He's still just looking through his deck. I don't know what he's trying to find, like, or maybe he doesn't know his own list. Still going to game plan B, which is like kill him. I don't know why he's not playing his Fairy. Maybe he's worried about my burn in my hand, which I don't have. At this point, I'm just like, I don't need to play anything. finally decides to play it. Figured risk factor, like, wants me to draw cards, so why not? I would have just taken the damage though if I was him, but so if I draw a burn, see, like, he should have just let take 4 there. So he got his fairy back, but I mean, it wouldn't really matter too much, but not like this matters either. Got 1 card left. He scoops. I was gonna deck Esper and to win, and that's how I got my first Metagame 7-0, and I was hyped, so hyped. My friend and me were talking in Discord. We were going ecstatic. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is my first Metagame Challenge 7-0. I will be uploading the rest of the 2 other ones that I got 7-0. If there's any like more information you want to know, just comment down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in my Twitch stream, and hopefully we all have a good stream.